Hey everyone, my name is Lennox. I am based over here in Seattle. My background is in traditional software engineering. I spent a good chunk of my career working in fintech engineering for a big Fortune 500 company over here in Seattle. I also run a startup hedge fund where we trade FX and crypto, leveraging quantitative strategies. And I most recently co-founded Satoshis Index, which is the project I'll be talking about here, with a good friend of mine who's based out in New York. And really, the basic gist of this project, as Mariana had alluded to, is we set out on a mission to help create a tool that brings efficient, I don't even want to call it trading, efficient participation in the upside of the cryptocurrency markets to the masses. And what I mean by that is, we, like many probably on this call, recognize that there was a lot of misinformation, a lot of bad actors, just a lot of confusion around how to really participate in crypto for the average person. We have a lot of people in our community that talked about wanting to be involved in this new wave of innovation, but were afraid they would buy the next squid coin, right? They're afraid that the day they get into crypto, they're going to buy the meme coin that goes to zero. So after kind of fielding a lot of these comments and fears from our circle, we set out on this mission to create a tool that would help address this. So this initial slide that you're looking at just shows like some simple infographics that show what I'll explain a little bit later, but which is Satoshi's Index, which is really it's almost we call it an index, even though it's really just like an aggregation of cryptocurrencies. We set out on this journey to find the most efficient way of delivering the best returns for the least amount of work. And we launched this project, Satoshi's Index, as an NFT. And the way we're rolling this out, we actually launched a couple of weeks ago. Users mint an NFT that gives them access to this proprietary platform that we developed that allows just portfolio management, for lack of a better term. So we sit squarely at the intersection of DeFi and SaaS because we're taking what's a conventional software as a service platform, which is just an algorithmic trading solution, and leveraging all the benefits of Web3 and DeFi by having it token gated by an NFT. So when we started out this journey, we started with the thesis that there was a way of getting better returns than Bitcoin. So we built a lot of our models on Binance, which is the largest crypto exchange in the world. And we pulled data from Binance that started from, I think it was late 2017, which is when Binance formally started offering crypto. They started with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And just through API pulls, we built a bunch of models that helped us kind of prove out the efficacy of this strategy. And what we found was, if you had started dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin at its inception on that exchange, I think your returns would have, as of about a month ago when we ran this particular script, your returns would just be sitting roughly around 644%. If you were just dollar cost averaging like $100 a month into Bitcoin. We ran that same analysis, and instead of dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, you were dollar cost averaging into this basket of currencies that make up Satoshi's Index. So this index that I alluded to earlier, it pulls the top 10 cryptocurrencies by trading volume on this specific exchange. So the reason we decided to go this route was we observed that there was a predictive element to looking at trading volume as opposed to market cap. So a lot of these coin aggregator sites, the Coin Geckos, the Coin Market Caps, they'll list out like all these cryptos by market cap, which we found is more of a lagging indicator as opposed to trading volume, which is a leading indicator, because we found that over the long run, if you were dollar cost averaging into this basket of currencies we're calling Satoshis Index, which is the top 10 currencies by trading volume, your returns would be sitting just above 13, right around 1,300%. Same exact strategy, only changes, instead of just focusing on a single asset like Bitcoin, you are diversified and spreading your capital across a larger basket of currencies. So that's when we decided to take that idea and actually productize it. I don't know if that's actually a word, but yeah, we decided to take that idea and create a tool that we could use for ourselves primarily, but also share with the community. So a lot of people will ask, okay, because there's multiple components to this, there's an NFT, there's an index, there's dollar cost averaging, people can quickly become confused or fail to understand how all these pieces kind of come together. So this slide attempts to distill this concept into a simple process. So you mint this NFT. The NFT really just serves as your license or an access token that allows you to access our platform. So once you log into the platform, you would then actually, before you log into the platform, you would go into your exchange, whether that's Coinbase or Binance, generate an API key. And as you're generating that key, all you're doing is granting it trading access only spot trading, no withdrawals or anything. So money actually never leaves your exchange account. So you always retain custody of your funds and your coins. You take your API key, come back to our platform's UI, plug in your API key, define the budget amount that you want the algorithm to take to allocate to the strategy weekly or monthly, and that's pretty much it. So we wanted this to be as simple as possible and really turn it into a set it and forget it strategy that simulates a traditional 401k or any other index fund type investments where you really don't think about it. It's just constantly running in the background, whether it's a college tuition fund or retirement fund. Really, it's just something that's running on autopilot on your behalf. So from minting the actual NFT, we also wanted to push the limits of what value or real world value or utility an NFT can deliver its holders starting from the very first day. For those of you that are familiar with NFTs, there's a lot going on in that space. It's a lot of art, but also a lot of nefarious activity, a lot of rug pulls, a lot of people throwing stuff out there that really doesn't deliver value. So we wanted to provide the community with something that actually helps and actually adds value to their lives from day one. As I'd mentioned, custody of the coins and your fiat remains with you. It stays in your exchange account. There's no fees that we charge, unlike conventional index funds where there's like crazy expense ratios. One example we looked at was Bitwise, which is really kind of the only index fund out there for most people, even though right now it's not even accepting any new capital. But it's pretty expensive for regular people, and you have to be an accredited investor and all that great stuff. But with Satoshi's Index, because it's just a tool that aids in the investing process as opposed to like an investment manager, there is no restriction for just accredited investors or non-accredited investors. So no fees, complete transparency into how coins are purchased, why they're purchased, and you get this cool art that we dreamed up. And this next slide just really goes over another core piece of this product, which is this custom authentication mechanism that we developed, which I'm personally super excited about, because I think we're going to see a lot of this over the next 12 to 24 months in the broader tech scene, which is we leverage an NFT to gatekeep access to this platform's UI. And the reason I get super excited about this, and I'm going to try to breeze through a quick example. Imagine you are Adobe, this Goliath software company that has been producing software for a really long time. We all know like piracy has been a big issue in the software as a service space, right? So whether it's someone buys a copy of Photoshop and puts it on Pirate Bay, and all of a sudden millions of people download that for free. If I were Adobe and all of a sudden I had a way of attaching smart contract authentication, or basically this type of mechanism that I described, where only a single Ethereum wallet can access a piece of software. If I was a big company like Adobe and I'm rolling out all these licenses of my tools that have a one-to-one mapping to an Ethereum wallet address, I personally think it substantially reduces the risk of things like software piracy. So I think over the next like 12 to 24 months, as this Web3 space continues to mature and traditional SaaS providers and traditional Web2 companies see the benefits of leveraging blockchain technology in their existing business models, we're going to see a lot of this happening. So I get super excited because we were able to kind of roll this out into a production use case via our tool. So as soon as a user sells their NFT and no longer holds it in their Ethereum wallet, we have an API mechanism that immediately deactivates their access to the tool. So again, something pretty cool that I wanted to call out. And then lastly, because access to the tool is delivered via a token, or this access token, this NFT, if you decide for whatever reason you no longer want to execute this DCA strategy, or for whatever reason you don't want to hold this piece of software anymore, you can go ahead and sell this on the secondary market. And we don't have any other software tools out here where you can use a tool for an X amount of time and sell it and either recoup your initial investment or even earn a profit, which is what you get by becoming a part of our ecosystem. There's a limited number of these initial licenses. So based on how well the tool does and how consumer sentiment continues to evolve, it's reasonable to expect that this initial 999 collection will become more scarce. And as we move to the next phase, which I'll get into a little bit, which is a subscription-based model, these initial 999, which are essentially lifetime access passes, will just inherently have increased value. So as I mentioned just now, the plan after this initial 999 Genesis Mint completes, the plan is to transition to a subscription model where the only way users can gain access to this tool will be via quarterly or annual licenses. So that is that's really the meat and potatoes of our revenue model, and will allow us to ongoingly support this tool. And we plan to continue to add functionality to this tool and really just make it as awesome of an experience as possible for the broader Web3 community. As I'd mentioned, the core team is myself and my co-founder, Kevin, who's on the call, as well as a host of contractors, vendors, community managers, and just developers, and just a whole group of awesome people that have helped make this project a reality. And lastly here, you can't be an NFT without having art. So we're at this place where we had the decision to just go all in on the utility and forget the whole art thing, because we wanted to make a statement that NFTs are more than art, but we realized that we would be alienating a good chunk of the community by not incorporating art into this project. So we went the extra mile, came up with this persona, gave him a name, named him Satoshi as a tribute to the legendary creator of Bitcoin. And we personified Satoshi into this mythical sage wizard guy who is guiding your portfolio to efficient long-term gains. So yeah, each of these initial keys has its own unique 3D art. It's not generative. We actually busted out these designs by hand. So another cool perk to owning this tool. And yeah, this just goes over some of the places you'll find us on the internet from a PR and branding standpoint. A big part of this as well has just been slowly and organically building out our community across Discord, Twitter, Instagram. And it's been a fun journey to really get to rally people behind this tool. And yeah, it's been a fun journey. And yeah, wanted to put this in front of you guys if anyone's interested in learning more. Our website is satoshisindex.com, and we're active on Discord, Twitter, and all the socials. So yeah, I hope I did not speak for too long, but yeah.
Love it. Dollar cost averaging, index of all the top, crypto by volume each week, and you get a very cool NFT attached to it. So there's a little bit of all good stuff in crypto. I love this project, and you can subscribe to it and get your NFT on their website. And then you can be one of the, basically first 999 ambassadors, because everybody else is going to have a subscription, and you're actually going to own your, this is a lifelong contract, right, Lennox?
Yeah, only these, this initial mint, the 999 are the lifetime licenses. And then once those are done, we pivot to a quarterly and annual subscription model.
Awesome. And I love the platform, and everything you guys have done is just amazing stuff today.